This is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. It is up when you want some real motherfucking work done. As you already know, go to the Weird Renegade website, click onto the link of Blogtalkradio, and you already know lessons will start this month. I've been getting people who are asking me, am I going to do lessons? Yes, I am. So I will keep you posted. But then there are people who I've worked with previously. I'm going to hit you up. Don't think I'm ignoring your text messages. I'm going to get to them, and then I'll let you know when I'm going to start up the monthly lessons, which is separate from the one-on-one weekly lessons or everyday lessons that I do with individuals. That includes work. Okay, understand what that is. Dealing with your own growth and personal frequencies when it comes to spirituality and so on. But as you already know, Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, and that spell work. Because as I always say, life is a bewitchery, but art is occultism. Occultism is an art. And I'm coming back kind of quick because I've had people who have questions and things that they want me to answer and more. So I'm just coming back really quick and kind of going over some energies of some witchcrafty witchery and questions and things that we should just kind of peep about and see what is really going on out here, right? However, people were asking me, how did I feel about Rihanna dancing and doing a concert for that Indian dude 19, was it for 19 hours? What's his name? Well, whatever, you guys know what it is. I don't feel anything. I think she's a slave. I think she was cakewalking. She better work off that money they gave her. That's what the fuck I think. My question is, how in the hell all them goddamn Indians getting them kind of monies? Talk about they billion and trillionaires. What the fuck? And they'll sit up and try to tell you that these people doing global investments on what? On who? On the backs of whom? And where? And how? And why? Why are we giving a fuck who's entertaining? They have created a society out here that these people need money. Shit, so she gotta go and do 19 hours or whatever, 19 songs. That's what it is. We really don't know when that shit was done from the way that body was looking. And people say that's body shaming. No, either she's pregnant or she just had a baby. I don't even understand how these people be right out after they didn't had a kid. So it's a little off. So I don't think any fucking thing of what she doing. She got to work that money off, right? That they didn't gave her. Shit. And we up here concerned and trying to, pocket check her, talking about that she's getting backlash. Who gives a fuck if she working her ass? That's her job. The question is, did you see the prince? Man, you gotta pay a bitch. You gotta pay a bitch. Not like that, but he's an interesting looking specimen. He look like he grimy as fuck, doesn't he? That prince that have all that money. They always look like that. Lord have mercy. Amen. Gotta say amen to that shit. Woo, Lord. And because those Indian men, they fetish, they freaky, they taboo. They taboo. They do some nasty shit. I've caught them doing some nasty shit. And they have a thing about children. So it's just the truth. I witnessed it. I seen it. I caught it. And so I kind of have an energy with their frequency because they be into some freak nasty shit. And they asses be up there bisexual like a motherfucker. So that's a whole shenanigans. I'm not worried about what Rihanna was doing up there. I'm just interested to know how motherfuckers getting all that goddamn money. That's all I'm interested about. Yeah, I'm pocket checking. I want to know how the hell, shit. You got a whole broke ass country over there on some poor shit. You gotta wonder, right? And the things that they've been alleging that be going on, how they be owning businesses, and they talk a lot about the trafficking of females and children, and they talk about the energies of heroin and drugs and whatever else is going on in the universal soul. So everything is allegedly, right? But we just having conversation. Somebody else, they asked me about Mr. Netta and Mr. Charles. You know what? It's what I said in my last video, but I think as I'm really looking at both of Mr. Netta and Mr. Charles, I think also they have mental illness. I think they came from a psych ward. I believe that they have a form of autism. And when you peep Mr. Charles, he's one of those disabled men. I don't think y'all know what I'm talking about, but I hope you know what I'm talking about. And I've seen this a lot. Again, I'm from San Francisco, so we have the Tenderloin. And I've seen that type of energy in the Tenderloin where they appear to be normal or to look normal. But then when you kind of be around them, they act like they on the verge of retardation, and they have some kind of, as they say nowadays, intellectual disabilities. And more, I'm thinking these black people are people with disabilities. I don't think these are just like normal thinking or off-brand weird black people. I downright believe that they have went somewhere and pulled out verge of retardation, mental illness, people with disabilities, people with mental disabilities and psychosis, and they have presented them as the new form of black people. And we are here really thinking these people are from the hood, living in the hood, but we not understanding they have mental disorders. Okay, that's the bewitchery that I believe that's going on in this universal soul. Okay, and then I was seeing something also very interesting that someone sent over to me that's going on, I guess, in southern Louisiana, that you got what they call the Hama Indians up there, fake macking. They went and took possession of a school that allegedly taught, the Homo Indians, whatever that was there, but most likely they were black Indians and not these hybrids. So therefore the hybrid Indians are trying to get, federal funding, health care and more. And so they have basically bought the school and they're going to turn it into a museum. And then after that, they want to make sure that you come and get your testing and your what's it called? The genealogical testing, I guess, your lineage per what the report was saying. So therefore, the feds have to recognize you as these particular Indians, for you to receive this funding, as they sat up and basically excluded the black people who are the original Indians, most likely the original Hama Indians, as they want to call it. So therefore, the whole argument is that how in the hell they can come and claim something, and you have to have a bloodline within this energy to receive federal funding. And we all can do that. We can claim the whole fucking United States and the goddamn world. We can claim any fucking thing and say, hey, this is what it's connected to. But the thing is that they try to play us and try to say that we don't know where we came from. The confusion part of this is that you hear a lot of stories about them saying, yeah, she was born or he was born into slavery. No, they wasn't born into slavery. They were the natural Indians that were here in the United States, and you enslaved them and made us think that these were actually biracial or mulattoes, and they really wasn't biracial and mulattoes. They were really Indians, especially the ones that went up into Canada. So you may hear stories of like aristocrat biracial They say born into slavery and they were really Indians all along. So we have to understand what the fuck that bewitchery is and how the United States is up here playing games. Talking about you need fucking paperwork to prove you're a fucking Indian. There is no fucking paperwork to prove you're a fucking Indian. The bottom line is that there is no fucking DNA. The real DNA is the black DNA. These hybrids are not the real DNA, but anything not to give anything, to the melanin people, the original people. Because I've been hearing this argument of, did black people build America? Now there's an argument between a Negro and Afro-Caucasian, copper people, whatever. The bottom line is that if we just put it all together, we built the whole goddamn world. And that's the goddamn truth. Even the fucking wall of China. That's the real fucking truth. The Chinese didn't build a fucking thing. You're like, where's the evidence at? Look at the fucking evidence. We're going to stop this bewitchery. We just fucked over ourselves. Because we act like Mr. Netta and Mr. Charles. Going forward, we might as well just rename ourselves Mr. Netta and Mr. Charles. Because we act like we have intellectual disabilities the way we move. Anyways. So there's propaganda going on in Haiti. They out here telling us that barbecue and the gangs that took over Haiti and all that shit. And there's a whole bunch of cannibalism. I don't believe one word that's going on. And the truth is, barbecue been dead for going a year, almost to 2 years now. But some of you Haitian people be on that cap shit talking about he alive. That man is dead. What they showing us is propaganda. And I'm going to say allegedly there's a whole bunch of energies behind it. I think barbecue died in 2022. So I don't believe shit they showing us on social media, and that shit look old. And then after that, they up there, oh my gosh, what's going on in Haiti? What's going on in Haiti? They out. What you afraid that the Haitians, then now they out of jail, they gonna come over here to the United States. Meanwhile, you got the audacity to trip on Haitians, and they been over here. You tripping on Haitians, but you got Central and South Americans over here cutting up, doing the same fucking thing, that also do cannibalism, that will cut your heart out, that will cut your eyeballs out, and will eat it in front of you. And we up here looking at fucking Haiti? Kiss my ass. Maybe the Haitians feel some of the motherfuckers need to get ate. Shit, man, I'm concerned allegedly. I don't know. That might be their enemy. They might be eating up their enemies. I don't know. That's a form of work. That's a form of work, I hate to tell you. So meanwhile, they have all this propaganda going on telling us what it is, what it ain't in Haiti. I don't believe a fucking thing. I believe there is something going on. I believe it's the same thing that was going on in Central and South America. And maybe it's an uprising against the oppressors and people who have oppressed them. And did some fucking frequencies. Shit, they may be eating the president of Haiti. I don't know how all that goes. But barbecue, that's a lie. And I know that for a fact. And I know that for a fact back in 2022. That person that they telling you is him, that's not him. Maybe that's a clone. I don't know who that is. And them up there, you guys over here, not you guys, but people, white folks. Oh my God, what's going on in Haiti? What you afraid? Were they going to come over here and eat you up and turn you into a zombie? But like I said, but meanwhile, we have the same type of people that you guys are so scared of right here in America coming across the border. We have mountain people. You don't know where in the fuck these people came from. They'll aggressively come and attack you, and you worry about some fucking Haitians. I'm not trying to hear that fucking propaganda about Haiti. Whatever's going on in Haiti is none of our fucking business. And the shit they showing on social media, some of that shit, I don't believe is real. That's insulting, and that's insulting them. It's almost like we done went back to Jungle Boogie. Oh, look at the booga booga boogers. The booga booga boogers over there doing booga booga things. The booga booga boogers over there eating shit and eating, being cannibals. The booga booga boogers are booga booga boogers. That's what that shit. Oh no, the voodoo people come. The booga booga boogers. What the fuck? All right, we just having a conversation right about the bewitchery and propaganda and lies. Got you. They over here talking about how this country in Africa, I think it's called Burkina Faso, and I guess they recently have a president that he's shutting down the business with France and gold and taking back the gold energy from France. Sound like some Asians are involved in that. For an African president to get down like that. Sound like there's something backing him up. I know you guys like, no, there are plenty of presidents in Africa. Well, you know, I don't believe it. I believe there's something backing them up. So anyway, it's called, I think, or called Burkina. Well, whatever, it's something going on with the gold, and that basically they have cut ties and cutting business with France. Nothing is going to go through France anymore, and there's this prediction that France is going to bring in their military to try to take over, or I guess bully the fuck out this country to, do business with gold, right? As we talk about this, you have to understand what's going on in the Ivy League world. In the Ivy League world, we have this energy called Afro studies or African studies. And we understand, like at Yale, they've merging the Asian department in with the Afro studies, and they're going to merge them together, right? So we understand in a lot of these Ivy League schools and universities and colleges, you have to understand who in the hell is teaching Afro studies. And a lot of it is in Black people. And they were talking about percentage wise that the 90% of others or white people who's teaching Afro studies. Okay. And that's very much high. However, there's something going on in Chicago, and it's I'm assuming, let me see here. We need to kind of talk about this, right? So anyway, there's an energy going on in Chicago. And with this energy, I'm trying to see the university, but whatever it is, yeah, it's going to be at the University of Michigan. So there's going to be a panel, and this panel is going to be hosted by African Study Association. So it is an African Study Association conference, and at this conference, it's supposed to be like a networking event, and people can sit there and mingle and dingle about Afro energies or African energies that are going on, and so on, and different postdoc and papers and uh, papers they've written and articles, right? And there's something going on, I'm assuming, coming up soon, um, where this German person is hosting this energy named Fabian Krautwald, Krautwald, and I think this other person named Zoe is supposed to be his sidekick, and she's a white girl, okay? But their main thing, they entertain Black or African students to do and write up papers for them and to do research for them so they can receive the accolades. And what is also going on with these Ivy Leaguers, these white Ivy Leaguers, which include others, which includes Indians, Asians, so on, just around the world, studying Africa, they are going towards, again, the African people to give them information because they don't have any information and is recycled information. So we should really understand what's going on in this universal soul, that we're getting a lot of books and education from white or other Ivy Leaguers. And when I say others, I'm talking about, you have now a lot of Indians that are educating about Afro history or Black history, especially at Columbia. You'll see that a lot. And then now you have a new flux and rise energy of the Asian culture coming in and intertwining themselves about African or African history. Okay, so we always have these colonizers or now neo-colonizers coming in wanting to get educated, but now they're pulling information. Okay, then you have what we call Black excellence motherfuckers trying to teach African history, but they don't know shit. Okay, so we have to know what's going on because they're creating alliances, group and panels. Okay, so like for this particular energy, they charging her for her to give her own fucking information. And they're creating these groups and panels and these alliances, and they're creating members. Okay, so for example, so we're going to say this kind of white Ivy League energy that's saying, hey, we want you to be part of our group. So you're going to be a member of our group so we can kind of control what is put out there. And then you give us the data. And then we're going to take your data, and then we're going to report it and create these researches and surveys, and they go around researching every intricate country in Africa. This one is Nambia that they're interested in and want energy. So we should know these type of things are going on in a universal soul because it's connected to our people. It is connected to us and the study. It's just like, for example, did they use the crack period in America to throw drugs in Africa and in the islands? What was the research in Mexico when they had when they had the Haitians in prison or jailed with their children and mothers and fathers in Mexico? Were they filling them up with drugs and shit? Because Mexicans, and I've been not being rude, but they're good for it. They're good for using test dummies. So everywhere you look is a fucking test dummy. They talked about, especially in the around the 40s or whatever, 30s, how Black men had syphilis, and they let them go around the universal soul with syphilis, making them believe that they were cured, and they wasn't. And so can you imagine having syphilis? And that can cause a deformity, that can cause someone not to have children, all type of shit. They've done so much. They even talked about it with the Puerto Ricans, how they went to Puerto Rico gave them chlamydia and syphilis and gonorrhea. They let monkeys over there, them fucking monkeys they infected them with fucking chlamydia, whatever sexual transmitted infection, and then took them off the island and put them over there in some Carolina islands. It's just all type of shit that goes on, and they test it on melanated people all the fucking time. Okay, so we have to understand how they are telling our story. They're telling our story in an educated Ivy League panel membership frequency. And there's other people other than melanated people telling our story and doing research. So we have to be extra careful because these people believe that they're scholars, and they're coming at you going to Princeton and Harvard and all of that, and they're creating their own universal world. So we have to understand what's going on in the universal soul as is. Now you may get someone else that's black that say, no, I disagree, I concur. No, don't, because you know that I'm right. And these people are creating their own story tales. And remember I said reality, their reality, and your reality. Bottom line, point blank. Okay? And a lot of times we are understanding other people's reality, but it doesn't mean that's the truth. It's just like someone I know who did research in Congo. And when they did their research in Congo, the person that was helping them, who was Congolese, was lying to them. Okay? So then they're writing up everything and they're doing their papers and their dissertations, and the shit is not even real. Okay? And it's very interesting. I seen this argument between a Christian African and a person who believes in, as he said, the Yoruba religion, which is really evil. However, what was interesting, I said, I don't understand the argument, because there is not an argument, because the bottom line is that if there are different sectors of Africa, villages and tribes, of course you're all going to, you guys are going to practice different energies. You are not supposed to be on the same frequency. Okay, that's it, and that's all. And we don't understand, maybe all of that is not real. Maybe Africa is not real, period. Maybe that's just Noah's Ark, because we really don't know what the world was really like. We don't know if they went and took all of this energy and put y'all on one place. I believe the Dogon tribe really came from America. I believe that's a whole Indian tribe. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Do you know there's our original people of Jamaica that has never went to no Africa? We don't know what's going on. I had somebody tell me what's it, and you know I can't pronounce it, but the Ethiopian president, what's it, Haile Selassie? Did y'all know that's not even his real fucking name? Do you know that man has an American fucking name? I was like, no. No. I said, then who in the hell is he? And they were like, this is his real name. It's like his last name is, I'll get it again. It's like his last name is Smith. I said, and I started thinking, I said, then what is it to get a biracial person or whatever? What the fuck is going on in this universal soul? You will never get the true story of anything. And there's always people out here to debunk you because they think because someone researched it, it must be the truth all the fucking time. A lot of this shit is not. Especially if you're getting modern day research and energies, is what it is, right? We just having a conversation. What I also found very interesting that I bumped into by accident was JT the Bigger Figure. He's from the Bay Area, from San Francisco. He's a rapper. And I bumped into something on TikTok, and it was a person who was recorded, I guess, I don't know, whatever. I don't know if it's on YouTube or whatever, but I bumped into it by accident, and he was talking about Africa and Pan-Africans. And I was like, well, who is he talking about? When he's talking about Pan-Africans in so many words, he's saying, it seemed like he was saying that Pan-African motherfuckers ain't shit, and they ain't nothing but they nothing but kind of like gang members and gangsters. And they ain't never been where they say they've been. And it's almost as if they wanted him to be a perpetrator and portray something, but he was saying as if he didn't like voluntarily go to Africa on his own. He said that they basically pandered to him and paid for everything for him to come out there. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then it was like he was saying, I don't know that evil out there. I know the evils of America, but I don't know the evils out there. And he was saying how he was going to different parts of Africa and kind of getting the same frequency. And what stood out to me is when he said that the chief will send people or the police, I'm paraphrasing, to where you live to basically hoorah you over money. And I think what he's saying is that that's a different lifestyle. That's a different beast. And I'm like, and they telling black people to take their asses to Africa, and this is the shit that's going on. This is the real truth. So when we're getting people, the entertainers or the black people talk about go to Ghana, that's all an act that's paid for? We should have known. When I heard this story from this Congolese woman said that she was raped 2 fucking times and then they chopped off her husband's penis and made her eat it, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with JT the bigger figure if he's talking about when he was there, he was basically getting hoorah'd over money and getting energies, police or whosoever sent to his house? He not lying. Why am I hearing American black people say that they've been getting poisoned in Africa? There's a whole story going on with this, and she sounded like she was from the East Coast. She's in Africa, and she was. They were giving her. One of the African people was warning her, telling her that that African people don't cook with curry. Did y'all see that one? And the person kept warning her like, we don't cook with curry. Curry is Indian. And she was talking about she went and ordered some sambosa, whatever you call that shit. And the shit was toxic. And they were talking about how Americans are being poisoned over there. And I don't believe it's propaganda. What is going on? So we have these Ivy League motherfuckers that keep wanting to give us recycled energy, and they keep wanting to research the genocide of African people, but they're not talking about the incorporated genocide of the Indians and Asians that are over there contributing to drugs and more and deaths. And the new energy is to hoorah American people who live there. And what's going on with these fake Pan-African motherfuckers? You know, your conscious community. They fake as fuck, huh? I've been knowing that. I can tell by their behavior. It cracks me up how they keep trying to build these cults. But they build internet cults. A real cult, you don't know about it. It's kind of like, what's his name? Jared Leto. And I said, dang, his last name is Leto. But I said, that's not his last name. That's supposed to be allegedly a Greek goddess name. So he didn't mounted a female energy on him. You know, the dude from that played Joker. He has a whole fucking cult. And it makes me think that Lana, or is it Lana or Elena Del Rey is part of that shit. Most cults are under wrap. Why people do cults that are under wrap? What the fuck was that cult Craig Mack was in? Puff Daddy knew exactly what that shit was. The problem is the Pan-African people trying to build these cults, and they're internet cults. And they're gangster about every fucking thing because they incorporate other shit and gangs up in it. It's this whole bullshit. That's why your whole shit get blown up, because you put that shit on the internet. And then after that, you have the audacity to want fame and prosperity and all that shit, and you go around creating all these fake ass speeches. But the real cult is always behind the scenes, right? The other thing, somebody in my comments, they brought up O.J. Simpson, because I brought up O.J. Simpson. And they said, yeah, O.J. Simpson was connected to Jim Jones. And they mentioned, because I went with my mother nosy self. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. He sure was connected to Jim Jones. Then it made me fucking think of some shit. I said, where are them fucking kids that allegedly they say died up in the fucking jungle? Whatever that was. We really don't know what happened to all them kids, because some of them kids went missing. And how do we know those kids are really buried in the cemetery, especially, what is it, Evergreen in Oakland? How do you know some of them fucking kids are not in front of your goddamn face today? I'm just asking questions, because we already know Jim Jones was government. Who in the hell is in Jared Leto's cult? Do you know most of these actors were in cults? Remember when I was talking about Erica Alexander from Living Single, and she was talking about something her parents or somebody was missionaries? How do we know that those are those people kids? That they just didn't kidnap them from these damn Caribbean islands or wherever? Like Michelle, is it Michelle Pfeiffer? I forgot who it is. Not Michelle Pfeiffer. But they was talking about them being in a cult. A lot of them were in cults. I'm interested in this one. The reason why I'm interested is Jared Leto, because it's real undercover. And they kind of discreetly talked about it. There's so many cults going on in this universal soul, y'all don't know. Because y'all so caught up in nigga shit. What else I have been seeing, I said, oh, maybe this is the real reason why they're trying to shut down TikTok. Because the Jewish people were angry. They said some anti-Semitic shit been going on that's untruths about Israel. Well, can you get your fake asses out of Israel so we can have the real Israel people? Because we know you guys are hybrids. But Jewish people don't play any fucking games, do they? They're going to sit up and go to I think it's Mount Olive. I might be making up shit right now. They're going to go sacrifice some heifers. They said, we are tired of y'all in our pockets. You not going to take our money from us. Because y'all notice they've been talking a lot about the Jewish people, and they've been all up in their pockets. And when they busted that underground trafficking shit with that dirty ass mattress and clothing and shit that was going on at that synagogue, whatever was going on, the Jewish people been on the loose. They said, fuck that shit. We're going to take all these fucking female cows and we're going to sacrifice the fuck out of them. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Yahweh and whosoever, and matzo balls, bitch. We don't fuck around. I don't blame them. I'm not scared what they doing. They not playing. That's what we should be doing. Well, however we do it. I have a question. Are you niggas out here so lonely that you go online to find a best friend? I heard this thing called Bumble Best Friend. And then you're hearing black females talking about these random ass chicks, and then they go out and all that shit. You so fucking desperate that you can't find your own friend. You went online to find a friend. I wouldn't trust no bitch online like that. You don't know her. Then now that they have the audacity to be up there complaining. Did y'all see that shit with Orlando Brown? I don't know if he was in Houston or Texas. I don't know where he was. I said, where he at? And I don't know how old this was. And he was walking down the street and these ladies called him and said, Orlando. And he got up in their car. I said, oh, Lord have mercy. He has such a good heart. He bless his soul. And they drove him to the smoke shop and they drove him back to his hotel. That's an energy that you got to protect him. I don't know what's going on with Orlando Brown, but and I don't know, and I think there's a couple Orlando Browns, to be honest with you, because that one who walked down the street, I said, that's the real one. The who in the fuck is over here? Right? In white people news, there's this person, he's a British nationalist. His name is Sam Mila, Melia. And basically, and allegedly, he got 2 years in prison because he created some stickers to protect his white folks. Let me say this. I don't give a fuck about white folks protecting white folks. You should protect white folks, and it should be white power as you are protecting your people. I don't knock you for that. And they try to knock these white folks for protecting their whiteness. Okay? And apparently, he wrote some stickers that says, reject white guilt. It's okay to be white. White lives matter. Stop anti-rape gangs against white folks. Okay? The government got mad at him and basically said he was out here doing a hate speech. I said, I don't see what's wrong with what he said. Isn't that the same thing if we say black is beautiful? I'm black and proud. I don't give a fuck about white people and their shenanigans. I don't give a fuck if they white power. Now you got white people coming together saying get him out of jail because he's a father and he's a husband. And he should get his ass out of jail. Because you don't put a man in jail because he want to protect his own culture, ethnicity, and race and so on of people. I don't give a fuck. Pinky Doll. Beyonce then sat up and stole Pinky Doll's whole fucking soul. Could you please give back Pinky Doll, that TikTok girl who pretends she's an AI robot? You done sucked her whole life out of her. This person that they call Beyonce, I don't know the likes of her, but you done stole the likes. I don't know. Pinky Doll then gave the likes of her away. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here. We just talk about bewitchery. In my comments, somebody was talking about Nature Boy and that no one is talking about that he has a mental illness. You're absolutely correct. The person in my comments, you're absolutely correct. Nature Boy has a mental illness, psychosis, and he is a psychopath. However, I believe that boy, that man has been groomed, and I'm wondering what cult was he in before he got caught up in this cult. Okay? We will get a lot of biased people who don't look at the full scope of the frequency because they feel that he's just a horrid individual, but they purposely put him in that position knowing he has psychosis. He's on the same lines as Mr. Netta and Charles. He is an individual who have, you know, a mental disorder. And no, he should, for me, he should not be in jail. He should be in a psych ward. Okay? Because I feel that they don't want to put him in a psych ward because they know this man is crazy. And so therefore they've created this man who's a sexual predator. But at the same time, we have adults who sat up there and joined this cult because they have psychosis. So yes, he has bipolarism, he has schizophrenia, he has a whole bunch of shit going on with him. And to be honest with you, they transformed him into all of these frequencies and then sat up and put his ass in jail. It's on the same lines when people crack me up and they're like, I don't fuck with R. Kelly because of Aaliyah. Well, I have a question. Where was fucking Aaliyah's mother and father? Where was that older brother? See, we get mad at the predator, but we're not realizing the people that sold these people into slavery or to be a sex slave and whatever else. Do we ever look at them as predators? Where are these people parents? Where is Aaliyah's parents? See, you heard Tina Knowles say, I already knew R. Kelly was like that, and we made sure bullshit. Because there's so many stories talking about Beyonce and Kelly. So we're not going to get into that because I was tripped out, and this had to be either in the early 90s or late 80s when I seen Dwayne Wiggins in the studio with Beyonce, LaToya Luckett, Kelly Rowland, I forgot the other one. And I said they look like they around 13 or 14 years old. And when I was looking at it, Beyonce has always been awkward. And when you look at her face as a kid and how she interacts, you can say there's something not right. And you can clearly see, I don't believe her name is Beyonce. We don't even know the story because they lie so much because they create this story with Tina Knowles with her being with Matthew Knowles. But they're not telling you that allegedly she was dating or married or in a relationship with the dude from Welcome Back Carter and Cooley High. I don't know his name, but she was with him. I said, wait a minute. So her husband that she's with now, she knew him already. But then they were acting like they just met, but what? How long has these motherfuckers been up in the industry? Just all these lies and shit, right? And you like, well, how did she go over here to Nature Boy? Then talk about, because they all connected. And I brought up Beyonce because she's been groomed in this industry all along. Nature Boy has been groomed all along. I'm not feeling sorry for a nigga. I'm just looking at it for what it is and how they gave that man life. And I'm like, well, are they going to give the rest of the Pan-African motherfuckers life? Are they going to give the rest of these motherfuckers out here life? Who in the fuck did he take the blunt for? Because it's more shit than what you think. It's real estate scams going on, trafficking, drugs, all of that. We're going to stop fucking playing. Nobody running their mouth. We all is out on the table. You see, what's her name? The commissioner, they didn't convicted her saying, or whatever is going on, that she sexually harassed somebody. The one that was up there charging all these niggas over there in Atlanta for sexual harassment. Then you had this fake ass reporter, and the fake ass reporter did something with her hand, and that lady took her hand and moved it out the way. And the reporter about, oh my God, you slapped my hand away. That's assault, bitch. She didn't do that. She moved your hand out the way. I know what that is, so we not gonna go with that bullshit. I said she didn't got her ass caught up. I don't believe that's sexual harassment. I believe she was fucking her employee. And that nigga came right back on that ass. They all know each other. She knows Young Thug. So Trump was right. He was right. Right? He was right. Yes. He is mental. But and everybody, including who was it, that Velvet? She mental too. There's concern. Do you understand she has a baby by that man? We don't know in the next 10 years if we're going to see that child up in the media somewhere. You'll be like, where that kid come from? Velvet and Nature Boy. Right? Somebody asked me the question, who SZA parents? Hell, I wonder my goddamn self. We don't know what's going on. I was just discussing with somebody. I was listening to Sheila E. And I was telling them, I said, I was listening to Sheila E. Glamorous Life. It felt like I was in a fucking medieval dungeon drinking red wine and getting fucking red beeswax melted on me listening to her goddamn music. Then all of a sudden I went into this weird psychosis, like what the fuck? And then it felt like I was in Prince's house. And I was like, damn. And I said, she's horrible. What the fuck were we listening to in the damn 80s? I said, Sheila E. was just horrible. And then you like, why she talk about Sheila E? Because I need to figure out why in the fuck is Nicole Richie not with her auntie and the rest of the family? Why is she over here with Lionel Richie? How in the fuck did Sheila E. brother give his child up to Lionel Richie? And he been raising this kid as his own, knowing she has a whole dynasty and legacy and talent over here. We don't even know Nicole Richie's talent. So I'm like, these motherfuckers giving their kids away. We don't know who is who and what is what. We're all in confusion because we don't even know what's her name is. Sissy Houston, really Whitney Houston's mother. They out here doing a comparison to Gladys Knight and Kelly Rowland. Damn, they do look alike. We don't even know if that's her name, Tiana Taylor, connected to fucking Dionne Warwick. I said, you just can't look like people like that. Feature by feature, lip by lip, nose by nose, teeth by teeth. So I don't know who SZA belonged to. She might be from the cult. She might be from the same cult as the one that Alice Coltrane created for Doja Cat. Her and Doja Cat may know each other. And you'll be like, well, she's from Philadelphia. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. She might be Teddy Pendergrass's daughter. May I'm concerned. We don't know. We don't know where these groomed kids come from. If she's from Philadelphia, that's what I heard, but I don't know. These kids are mixed up. They mix up these people's children. Man, I'm concerned Michael Jackson might belong to Diana Ross. We don't know. But then, I was kind of thinking, the way Michael Jackson had that crush on her. Well, the alleged Michael Jackson, but... Yeah. So, I don't know. She's somebody's kid I don't know where she came from. All I know is for me, she sound like Summer Walker sometime, and Summer Walker sound like her. And SZA, they groomed the fuck out of her, and she disappeared off of social media for a very long time. And when she came back, she was doing up so high, down so low. She was throwing it up. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. And then she had all this plastic surgery done. Then next thing you know, she came out with Kill Bill. They've been pushing her ever since. So we know she's under ritual. So I don't know who she belongs to. She kind of looked like Berry Gordy. I don't know. These people have these people be out here having children. That's why I was telling you about Chloe Bailey. I said, did y'all look at her belly? How she had looked like it was kind of flabby and had little stretch marks around it. Did y'all have y'all been hearing them stories about Morgan State allegedly of sexual harassment? Did y'all see that papoose on Funkmaster Flex? I don't know what that shit is with him and Remy Ma, and I don't know why he sold his soul like that. But he's his own person, and he needs to come out with his own shit. What is happening? Why is there so much energy out here with the foster care, or I'm going to say CPS, coming in and taking people's children away, forcibly taking children away? I've come to the conclusion that your birth certificate is a signed document that gives the United States or whosoever country you're in the control over your kids and over you. Because I don't understand how legally they can come in with police and take your kid and snatch your kid up from you, this human being, and then put them in a more fucked up condition for them to be molested and sex trafficked and harmed. More and more, I'm hearing a lot of stories of child protective services coming in, taking kids, putting them in fucking homes, foster care homes, and the people sexually assaulting, molesting, and starving the children. And the kids going back talking about it. I don't understand what that is. And they would talk about, especially in Dutch or Sweden countries, they said they got that bad that they believe what your school is saying to you. They do it here too. I told you what the fuck happened to me. And I was like, hell no, fuck no. Okay? So we have to be extra careful out here, and really, people, what are these laws? What are these laws putting in place? So when I talk about your birth certificate, do we need to go back and read the birth certificates? Is there something we're missing in small writing? Okay? Because what it appears is legally they could steal the likes of you and steal your children. That makes sense to why they for sure want you to have your babies up in a hospital, because it's like once you sign that document, it gives them jurisdiction and ruling over your children. So then they'll come with the police expecting you to open the door. And I'm like, I wouldn't open the door. Fuck that shit. And the kids are saying they don't want to go. And I'm wondering, who are these judges signing? What other energy can you do? Because I don't think you legally have to open your door, and I don't believe you have to give your kids away. Something's not right about that whole thing, especially if your kid doesn't want to go. For them to put them in more fucked up conditions. And I'm a little concerned about that, because did y'all hear the story that's out of California? I guess the state or city called Geshon, but California. But look it up and look up the story of the father and step grandfather molesting and raping their 14-year-old daughter and granddaughter. Both the men, the father, biological father, and the step grandfather was raping this girl. constantly. And the neighbors knew there was something wrong. Nobody did anything. And the girl somehow called the police or whatever she did. And when the police or whatever came, the father lied and said, no, I guess there wasn't anyone there. And then they seen that it was something wrong with her. Then the ambulance came and she was dead. And then they found out that an 11-year-old girl was going over there and she was also being sexually assaulted too. And there were cameras that basically recorded everything. I said, is this a grooming house? What in the Pulp Fiction in the fucking basement bend over is going on? What the fuck is going on here? In Orange County, a mother ran away from a father who she alleges was sexually assaulting her child. She ran and took the child or the children to Canada, and now Orange County wants to file a felony against her. And people were saying, how in the fuck can you file a felony charges against this mother who believes that she's protecting her child? Because we don't know the full story. But you could let children into the United States without their parents walk across the border, and that's okay? And that is true. That is happening. Like literally, they'll just let their kids go off by themselves. Look up that story. It's a fucked up ass story. This is the way of the world, right? Did y'all look at that Oscars? Who was that plus size black woman that won an Oscar? Who was that? Who's that woman? Why was Ice Spice even invited there wearing that Fashion Nova dress? Why in the fuck was John Cena naked? We know you a prostitute. You letting the whole world know you a prostitute and you available? Why was Jimmy Kimmel making jokes about Trump? Are we back at this again? And you got a special needs president that you guys keep lying to about he has dementia? That man doesn't have dementia. Ronald Reagan had Alzheimer's. And he didn't even do all that. Do you know how many presidents were fucked up in office? And you got this Scooby-Doo motherfucker up there talking, sounding just like Scooby-Doo. We don't know what the fuck is going on. And you talking about Trump because you're trying to persuade. Understand, shutting down social media. They getting at it. How do you sit up there and make jokes about Trump and we got this man in office? Knowing that he's not making decisions or writing anything, but this is the face. Okay. I heard that they nominated Jeffrey Wright. I feel Jeffrey Wright should have been nominated and won for Shaft. He played a whole Puerto Rican gang member, leader. Or was it Dominican? Whatever it was good. Billy Porter, now I know what happened to you. Billy Porter, they replaced you with Eugene Lee Yang. They replaced you, Billy Porter, with an Asian man, and they took your white husband away and your life away because they needed to give it to Eugene Lee Yang. They introduced him to us in your fucking dress. You should have been wearing that dress, not Eugene Lee Yang. You paid your dues. We know you're talented. You could sing. You can dance. I didn't realize that was you in the fucking 90s singing your ass off. But they made you do all of this to prove yourself, knowing you're a real talent because I actually like you. But Billy Porter, you have every reason in your spiritual soul to be upset. Because they then sat up and used and abused you and took your life away from you, your house and everything. And now they gave it over to Eugene Lee Yang. Y'all look up Eugene Lee Yang outfit, dress two-piece, gown. And wouldn't it look very similar to what the fuck Billy Porter was wearing? That's a whole ritual. They're introducing this is the new gay boy. The new Hollywood gay boy. I told y'all who have bought Hollywood. They have basically blacked out black people. They're saying we don't want you in Hollywood. We only gonna let a few of you in, and you gotta be either a dingy black girl who's dingy as fuck, or a fat black woman to fit what we want. Plain and simple. Right? Or you have to be a foreigner, a third world motherfucker, or coming from a different country to play any roles. So they blacked out Hollywood. Black people, you have been blacklisted. You've been blacklisted. Billy Porter, you have every right. You have been replaced. I have a question. How come fashion week is coming so early and so many times? I went to school for fashion, and I don't remember all these fucking fashion weeks and all these fucking entertainers rolling up into Paris and all that bullshit. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. deserved to finally fucking win. I ride with him. I like him. And I also feel sorry for him. You know why? Because I remember looking at that movie Less Than Zero. And when I looked at it then, and I look at it now, and I keep looking at it, God damn it, that was him. He played the fuck out of himself. And to look at his road and his addiction and what he was fucking going through, and when he said on that stage, I had a crappy childhood, I said, man, if we only know what the fuck you went through. Just like yesterday I was talking about Joe Jackson and the rituals. Somebody in my comments, when I was, somebody hit me up. I'm going to say spiritual constituents hit me up saying he went back and he listened to the story of the cloak of who I told you, where I heard that Joe Jackson sacrifice story from. And they described the person in the cloak having a long face, white face. And they said, that sound like Aleister Crowley. And I'm going to tell you something. And I talked about it before, so if I forgot, but over there in Pasadena, I think it's Pasadena, they have that devil something tunnel, and they was it, is it Elon Hubbard, Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey? I might be wrong about Aleister Crowley, but all the motherfuckers will go into that tunnel because they say that it takes you to hell. You say, he said Aleister Crowley. I say it might have been Anton LaVey, or it might have been a whole other motherfucker that wasn't even human. Because the way how he explained that face that was doing them rituals, I'm just saying, I can imagine what the fuck Robert Downey went through as a kid. I recently was looking at Jodie Foster, and I remember that movie she did, and she was grown as, oh my God, how many movies has Jodie Foster done? And we sat up there, looked at it, didn't realize what the fuck was going on with Jodie Foster. I said, that's why she's who she is today. Then I started thinking about Brooke Shields. I said, that fucking Blue Lagoon. All them motherfuckers, all of them. They all got it. He deserved an Oscar. I ride with that. That man been under some cold ritual. But I advise you guys, go look at that movie Less Than Zero. Then you can understand Robert Downey Jr. They've been out here talking about black beauticians, that you guys have no techniques. That Asian women and Asian men are now doing black hair. They're doing relaxers, whatever, presses, they doing all of that. Because you guys don't know how to do technique. You only know how to put on lace fronts. But you don't know how to take care of the hair. Do you understand that Asian people are making products? They're putting a black face in front of it. They're not even making it. They're taking it from other black people and then putting it on the market. That's why people are tripping with Beyonce with her hair care. You have to understand, these are not people creating their own hair care. They're stealing it from other people and then have the money and then get the face. It happens all the time. They're stealing your oils. They're stealing everything. That's what they were saying with Judy, the one that's supposed to be married to the brat. How she stole from the girl in her shop, then took that formula, sent it over to where she sent it to some kind of distribution. Then they flipped and changed the whole energy of it and then took the original. They talk about that. You know, Judy that's need not to be around the brat's baby, her. Yeah, her. Go back and learn technique. Learn how to take care of hair. Somebody was saying, how come I can't get the hairstyles that they used to have? I told my son, I said, you have to understand. I said, I used to have long hair and shit. All that. And my beautician used to take care of my hair. We grew our own fucking hair. I feel sorry for this era. And these girls are lazy as fuck. That's spell work. That's as worse as you guys eating gumbo with hot peppers in it. Have you been seeing this energy that they call rhinoplasties? Ethnic rhinoplasties? Have you been seeing these black people looking like Pinocchio? It's nonstop. Somebody asked me in my comments about Alori Ja, Alori Ja. She's the story. I think somebody was talking about her. She was kind of a singer, backup singer, and she would do music, I think, with Kendrick Lamar and stuff. I know exactly. I did look at that. Um, and she got sacrificed for Kendrick Lamar and this other person, and her boyfriend her boyfriend practiced Aleister Crowley shit, and basically they're trying to say she climbed up like an electric pole or something like that, electric tower, and jumped off. No, she didn't. That was energy stealing. That was a sacrifice. That was fucked up. It was very much fucked up what they did to her. And Kendrick Lamar, he got something to account for, huh? All of them. And that boyfriend, he was very shady, right? When he was talking about it, and he wasn't even real. He was like a makeshift motherfucker. That was a cold game and a cold sacrifice. And they were talking about how when after she was murdered, all of them blew up, right? That story. Yeah, that was a sacrifice. Yes, they killed her energy for their own success. The boyfriend admitted it in so many words, the way he was talking. I said, oh, he's admitting what he did. Let me go back to the Oscars. Did y'all fucking see? Um, is there something going on with Kylie Jenner? Haven't she? Doesn't she look very tall and weird? Something going on with that energy, huh? Someone sent me something because remember I was talking about portal jumping and quantum leaping. Someone said, Wayward, a dead person appeared to me during hanging out around the dance clubs. I was having a conversation with him, and then I thought to myself, this person is supposed to be dead now. Wayward, he said, I will see you later. Issue, issue, and walked away. The person that was with me during this time, my homeboy, that's older than me. He's Puerto Rican. He kept saying, where the hell did that dude go that quickly? I'm Puerto Rican. No, my my Puerto Rican homeboy said, I know I'm not drunk, but that dude just disappeared. I'm telling you that the dead is rising up. The dead is rising up. They have opened a portal. Somebody else, what they write here? I'm trying to get it. Somebody else was talking about that. They said portal jumping. And the same thing. People coming in, coming out. I told you, they opened something in this universal soul that the dead is coming back. And whoever this is and whatever it is, it's coming back, and it's literally, and it's like in your case, it came back to talk to you. In my case, it's standing watching me. Somebody else said that, and I don't know why I can't find it now because they said bitch, but I was like, uh-oh. They had the same thing happen to them. Here it is. Bitch, this portal jumping shit just happened to me Saturday night. Portal opened, someone watching, and I jumped up and said, not here. Okay, black person who you're black. Okay. Yes, a portal opened. I found this one very interesting. Gen Z millennials skipped over 3 generations of elders and wisdom, no system in place. Black gay males being the pseudo mothers of the black community, no system in place. No longer being able to develop your craft in certain industries, ages 20 to 60 years old, no system in place. No more system in place. Netta Risa Tisa, engagement, retardation, and mental disabilities, no system in place. I love this because they're saying no matter what, there isn't and there is not a system in place and no more system in place. Okay, so I just kind of, I have a question. Why are they bringing back Alcohol Mad Dog MD 2020? What's this ritual? This is a hood drink. This is a liquor store drink. The fuck? And going back to JT, the bigger figure, and what he also said about Africa with him living there, he was talking about that they wanted to smoke cigarettes and drink liquor. What the fuck? Just to go back to that. Anyway, just wanted to hit up a couple of things and come back. Oh, yeah, I'm talking about, yeah, the Fulton, okay, another Fulton County, Georgia official found guilty of corruption. Yeah, I guess she's the commissioner. And Calvin Brock, and he sued Fulton County. He didn't sue her directly. You can't sue her directly. She's a elected official. So apparently you can't sue the elected official. You have to sue the city. That's why they can't get her out, because she's an elected official. Anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.